All right, so we are back with subconscious minds through the houses, and we have landed on moon in the fourth house. Wow. Because this moon placement and what it's telling us subconsciously when we have this placement is that we're needing security. So, yes, it should not be any surprise that the moon in the fourth house is looking for security. When it comes with the mother figure and nurturing, the nurturing roles that, we each have in our life, it's not one way. And it doesn't mean that you have a positive experience with your mother or you had a negative experience with your mother. It doesn't mean that. It's very hard to give very detailed expressions of how this is playing out without looking at a person's chart. So here, because like I learned through from experience of doing previous moon videos, which is on my channel, you should check out, that some people were like, oh, well, I had a negative influence by my mom and it wasn't a good relationship. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I apologize because it's really two sides. It's a flip of a coin when talking in vague and not really knowing who you're talking to, but the energy can play out in more than one way. So you have to keep that in mind, okay? Because we're just talking about the basics here. So the moon in the fourth house, yes, you're in the security that you need, okay? And yes, there's a very big chance you keep fearing the loss of security or feeling like you're not enough to provide that security for yourself, to where you're looking for that security in someone else, in others. Like, this can be a very emotionally dependent placement here. So that could stem from the mother figure, like always jumping in to fix the problem for this person. Always. And being overly dependent on the mother. And not necessarily because you always wanted to, whether you wanted to or not, or the mother just interjected and was like the helicopter mom, whatever. It still played out like a emotional dependency there, or dependency for security, period. And many of you guys could be attached to your mother for that right now. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Just an overprotective energy here. Now, this is the thing: if there was a negative relationship between you and the mother, or just displacement in the mother, it still presents issues of securities, because now you're trying to overcompensate with your children, or you're looking for a partner to like overprotect, over shelter, or to constantly remind them of how you need them, or they have to constantly remind you of how they need you. You look for someone to take care of you, or either you're going to be the person to provide that for someone else. Because actually, when you're dealing with the moon, and then you deal with the moon in the house that it's comfortable in, the moon can actually be pretty driven and successful, so you can just really seek to have that security or create that security for yourself, in others. And the thing about it is, having a lot of that pressure on your back and not really taking a break, or you feel like you're trapped in by that same security that you want so badly, and I really feel like this placement is showing people how to find security within, like being secure with self, so that when everything else falls to the wayside, you can lose a home or a job or a lover or whatever, just needing to have that independence there, and being able to create that for yourself. Because when things fall away or they detach themselves from you, you have a way of bouncing back and knowing that none of this stuff is going to make you secure for real. Not even another person, So that means when these things fall away, you're still secure. The security is there because the security of knowing who you are. This placement, though, can take a lot of work when you're dealing with the subconscious aspects of it. So you have to remember that. The thing about it is, even find yourself being overprotective and sheltering, overprotective, sheltering, clingy, like finding yourself being that for others or in the lives of others or them doing that to you. So it's important to establish boundaries, healthy boundaries between yourself and others, even with the mother. I'm telling you, have y'all seen, I don't know how many of y'all watch Lifetime. You know, I'm not advertising for Lifetime, but I watch Lifetime and I always see those movies on there to where it's like, with psycho mothers, or mothers, clingy mothers, and like they're so clingy that they're interfering with the relationship with the son, or you know, they're just like popping up and just overstepping their boundaries, and the son, he can't really say anything because it's his mother, and then he's like, okay, it's either between his mother and his partner. His partner is like, okay, listen, you need to get this under control. That could happen with females too, by the way. Like, you can have that mother where they're just popping up, and you're just like, okay, mom, you know, thank you. So it's important to establish these boundaries for yourself and other people, and they may not like it. But it doesn't mean that you have to cease these relationships. You just can transform them for the better. And this is a way to deal with issues if the issues arise with Moon in the 4th house. Subconsciously needing that security, subconsciously wanting it there, or feeling a lack of it, even if you have enough. It's okay. Your mother comes over 15 times a week and you're still like, okay, that's not enough. So you just let her do it. Well, you know, and then there's this thing about allowing others, like being the hero for others in a way. And it's in a very motherly, nurturing way. Because it is about being heroes of the feelings of others. So, you know, I'm not really gonna say this or like put up the boundaries here between, you know, because she wants the relationships between her and grandkids, children, you know, like, you know, he wants to check my phone every 5 minutes because, you know, he cares. She, you know, she's threatening me with every time I want to leave because, you know, she really does love me. Stuff like that. Them type of things. That's what I'm talking about. And it's because subconsciously there's always this thing with security, not having enough, not feeling it enough. And who knows, some of you guys could have really lacked the nurturing that you wanted or needed as a child, or you could have always had like your mother or someone, even a siblings, like someone in the household always overstepping boundaries. There were none, you know, so it was hard to develop them. And being insecure is the quickest way to step on boundaries, well-needed boundaries that you have to establish for yourself, because the insecurities that arise keeps telling you, okay, I'm gonna lose this, I'm gonna lose that, you know. And what's important here when dealing with the subconscious, because like this can go on. I could sit here and have this video go on for an hour long talking about what each of these placements mean in each house. It's a variety of things. There's a list of things, you know. So the important thing here is to create healthy boundaries, establish a sense of self. Your subconscious mind is telling you lack security, or it's either wanting you to realize that you don't lack security. So being secure within, and you do so with creating healthy boundaries between yourself and others and family, sometimes the mother figure, or just even with you and your children, like the family you're raising. Just security period, dealing with your insecurities up front by creating these boundaries for yourself. And whenever you want to, you have these insecure feelings, really try to take a look at where is it stemming from. Go into it. You know, whatever you're telling yourself, whatever feelings are coming up, work with those feelings. There's many ways that you guys can do that. And I'm going to be putting more of that out on my channel, like how to properly work through these things so you can have access to it, you know. So this has been Moon in the 4th house, needing security. I'm butterfly to like, share, and subscribe. You know I'm a love. You know what? Hold up. Maybe I shouldn't be telling y'all that. Because you know we got boundaries. I'm gonna say it like this. If you like what I'm saying and you want to like, share, and subscribe, feel free to. I'm butterfly to like. Peace.